Good morning, children. So, welcome to the part 2 of the chapter Meaning, Objectives, and Terminology of Accounting. In the previous part, we have discussed the meaning and objectives of accounting, the meaning of bookkeeping, and the difference between bookkeeping and accounting. So, in this part, we are moving further with the chapter. So let us discuss here the accounting cycle or the process of accounting. We know that accounting is the process of recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, and interpreting the financial transactions in a chronological order or date wise order that we have already discussed in part 1. Now, since it is a process, definitely it requires the steps. So, these are the steps in the process of accounting. So, this is better known as accounting cycle. So, first of all, what will happen? The first step in the accounting cycle will be transaction. That means some transaction will occur. Something will be purchased or something will be sold. Some amount will be paid or some amount will be received. So, first of all, the transaction will be done or occur. Then as soon as the transaction occurs, it needs to be recorded, and it will be recorded in the books which is better known as journal. So that means as soon as the transaction occurs, it has to be recorded. That means a journal needs to be prepared. As soon as the recording is journal is done, then it the all the transactions of similar nature has to be classified in an account form. That means all the sales has to be classified under the heading or account of sales. All the purchases from different suppliers have to be categorized in one account, that is purchases. Then all the money which is coming in or going out has to be categorized in one account, such as cash, etc. So this work of classification is done in leisure. So as soon as the journal is prepared, the next step in the accounting cycle after preparing journal is the preparation of leisure, which is done to basically classify the business transactions in an account form. Then as soon as the work of classification is over, we have to balance the accounts and we have to summarize them. And for summarizing them, we prepare a separate book which is known as trial balance. So as soon as the leisure work or the classification work is over, we prepare another book which is known as trial balance, and our trial balance is prepared to summarize the ledger balances. As soon as the work of summarizing is done, we have to do the work of analyzing. That means we have to analyze the expenses and incomes of the business, for which we prepare the trading account, and after trading account we prepare the profit and loss account. So both trading account and profit and loss account are prepared for analyzing the expenses and revenues or incomes. These are prepared to calculate the profit and loss, but trading account is related to goods. That means the things purchased for resale, the items purchased for resale, the items in which the business deals. So trading account is prepared to calculate the gross profit and gross loss, whereas profit and loss account is prepared to calculate the net profit or net loss. So soon after preparing the trading account, a profit and loss account is prepared, again for the same work of analyzing. And after preparing the profit and loss account, after the work of analyzing, the work of interpretation is done, which is done in the balance sheet. A balance sheet is prepared to know the financial position of a business, and this is done for one accounting year, for 1 year. As soon as the balance sheet of that 1 year is prepared, another year starts. Again the new transaction will occur, again the journal will be prepared, and the process will continue. So the steps in the process of accounting or accounting cycle is, first of all, the transaction will occur, then we will prepare the journal, then after we will prepare the ledger, after ledger we'll prepare the trial balance, after trial balance we'll prepare the trading account, after trading account we'll prepare the profit and loss account, and after profit and loss account we'll prepare the balance sheet, and again the next year the process will keep on continuing. So this is accounting cycle. Now let us discuss the accounting cycle in detail. So the very first important step in accounting cycle is the preparation of journal. So as we have discussed, the transactions are first of all recorded in journal in an entry form. So that means journal is prepared to do the recording of financial transactions in an entry form. Then after journal, a ledger is prepared. So after recording transactions in journal, similar nature transactions are classified in an account form in ledger. So that means ledger is prepared to do the work of classifying. In journal, we record the transactions in an entry form, whereas in ledger we classify the transactions in an account form. Then after ledger we need to prepare a trial balance. So after classifying the similar nature transactions in ledger, accounts are summarized so as to arrive at their balances by preparing trial balance to check arithmetical accuracy. So that means the work of summarizing is done in trial balance, and trial balance is prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy. That means whether the mathematically whether the things are correct or not. Then after preparing the trial balance, we need to prepare the trading account. So after summarizing and preparing the trial balance, all the direct expenses, that means those expenses which are related to production and losses, are compared with direct incomes and gains to analyze and calculate gross profit and gross loss by preparing trading account. So that means soon after the preparation of trial balance, we prepare a trading account whereby we analyze the direct expenses with direct income. That means expenses related with production with the incomes related with production, so as to calculate the amount of gross profit and gross loss. Then soon after preparing the trading account, we prepare the profit and loss account. Here also the work of analyzing is done, but after summarizing and preparing the trial balance, all the indirect expenses. Trading account includes all the direct expenses and direct incomes, but profit and loss account includes all the indirect expenses and indirect incomes. So all the indirect expenses and losses are compared with indirect incomes and gains, again to analyze and calculate the net profit and net loss by preparing uh, basically by preparing the profit and loss account soon after preparing the trading account. So here you can see the trading account is prepared to calculate the gross profit and gross loss, whereas profit and loss account is prepared to calculate the net profit or net loss. Soon after preparing the profit and loss account and comparing the expenses with the incomes, we will prepare the balance sheet, the last step. So after analyzing the profits and losses of an organization, it aims to ascertain its assets and liabilities. That means what are its owned money and what are its borrowed money, by interpreting its financial position and preparing a balance sheet. So that means at the end, a balance sheet is prepared after preparing the profit and loss account to ascertain the financial position of a business, so as to know that what are the assets, that means what are the owned property and money, and what are the liabilities, that means what are the responsibilities, what are the borrowed money of a business. So these are the steps in the accounting cycle. I hope these are clear to you, children. Now the basic accounting terms, basically these are the words or terminologies which you will come across while you prepare the books of accounts. So the very first term is debtors. B is silent here. We pronounce it as debtors. Now, debtors basically represents all those persons or firms or institutions who owe some money towards your business. That means it refers to all those persons or institutions who have to pay or repay back certain amount of money to your business. So it represents those persons or firms to whom goods have been sold or services rendered on credit and payment has not been received from them. That means you have sold something on credit to them, or you have given some services on credit to them. That means they have not made the payment till now. So therefore they have the liability, they are responsible to repay your credit amount later on, and therefore they become your debtors. These are basically considered as an asset because you will be getting money out of them. Then creditors is just the opposite of debtors. Creditors represents those persons or firms from whom you have purchased the goods or taken the services on credit and the payment has not been made to them. If you have purchased goods or you have taken the services from somebody on credit and you have still not made the payment, then that person for you has become the creditor. Creditor is considered to be the liability because the money has to be paid to them. Then the third item is the revenue. So revenue means the income of a recurring, that means regular, which keeps on occurring again and again. So revenue means the income of a recurring or regular nature from any source, from any way. Expenses, it is the cost incurred in producing and selling the goods and services. Whenever a goods is manufactured and sold and whatever the services are rendered, so the cost or the money which is spent on producing and selling such goods and services, that money spent is known as expenses. Then the another word is purchases. So purchases refers to the purchase of or buying of goods only. Now goods here means the items in which the business deals. For example, for a stationery shop, registers, pens, pencil, etc. is considered as goods. For a general merchant shop, rice, flour, biscuits, your all sort of namkeens, etc., that is considered as goods. For a furniture dealer, furniture is considered as goods, etc. So purchases refers to the buying of goods only, and goods here means the goods in which a business deals. Sales, just like purchases, sales is also related only and only to the sale of goods only. So sale is used only for the sales of those goods which are purchased for resale purposes. That means when a stationery shopkeeper sells registers and pens to a customer, that is the goods. So the sale of such goods which he has purchased to resell, that will be considered as sales. But if he sells his old furniture second hand, then that will not be considered as a sale, because he never purchased the furniture for reselling, he purchased it for his own use. Then drawings here basically means any amount or anything, any cash, any money, any asset, any goods, anything which the owner of the business has taken away or has withdrawn from the business for his some personal use, that will be considered as drawings. For example, if a stationery shopkeeper takes 2 registers from his shop for his son's studies, then the cost of 2 registers will be considered as drawings. If he takes out 5,000 rupees from the cash box for some party or some treat, then that is his personal purpose. So that 5,000 will be considered as drawings. So drawings means any cash or value of goods withdrawn by the owner for personal use or any private payment made out of business funds are called as drawings. Then capital. Then another term is capital. Capital means basically capital is the amount invested by the owner in the business. So it refers to the amount invested by the proprietor or the owner in a business enterprise. Capital is also known as owner's equity or net worth or net asset. So these are basically the other names for capital. What are the other names for capital? Owner's equity or net worth or net assets. And capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. That means this is the formula for capital. That means when we deduct liabilities from assets, we get the amount of capital. Now the next term is stock or inventory. So the term stock includes the value of those goods which are lying unsold at the end of the accounting period. That means whatever goods you have manufactured or you have purchased for reselling, so the amount of goods which you were able to sell, that is considered as sales. But the amount of goods which are lying unsold, that means which you could not sell at the end of the period, at the end of the accounting year, then that will be considered as stock or inventory. Inventory is the other name for stock. The stock may be of two types, that is opening stock and closing stock. Opening stock means the stock at the beginning of the accounting year, and closing stock means the stock at the end of the accounting year. So opening stock is the value of goods lying unsold at the beginning of the accounting year, and closing stock is the value of goods lying unsold at the end of the accounting period or year. Then the next point is debit. Now, just like we speak a number of languages, English, Hindi, Marathi, Urdu, etc., in the similar fashion, the language of accounting is debit and credit. There are two languages of accounting, which is debit and credit. So, debit entries are shown on the left hand side of an account. In use of personal accounts, debit the receiver. In case of nominal accounts, debit an expense. In case of real accounts, debit an asset. So, debit, while preparing an account in ledger, we show the debit items on the left hand side. And when we proceed with the different parts of this chapter in part 3 and part 4, in the upcoming video we'll be doing the classification of accounts or the types of accounts. There we will study that there are three types of accounts: personal, real and nominal. And the rule for debit and credit, what is to be debited and what is to be credited, is different in these types of accounts. So therefore, in case of nominal account, we debit the expenses. In case of personal account, we debit the receiver. And in case of real account, we debit the asset. Then in case of credit, credit entries are shown on the right hand side of an account. That means while preparing a ledger account, we show the credit items or entries on the right hand side. And rules for credit entries are: credit the giver, credit a liability, and credit a revenue or income. That means all incomes, all liabilities, all gains carry the credit balance. And if a person is giving the money, then also that giver will be considered as a credit entry. And in case of debit, all expenses, assets, losses carry a debit balance, and any receiver of anything will be considered to be have a debit balance. Then another term which you need to remember is the discount. As we know, discount is what? It is kind of a rebate. It is kind of an amount which is deducted, which you need not pay while purchasing anything. So there are two types of discount. One is trade discount and one is cash discount. Trade discount means the discount allowed on printed price at the time of sale. That means MRP. So whatever discount is given on MRP, if you purchase any item, the MRP, the price printed on it, is 50 rupees. And if the seller gives you for 40 rupees, so the 10 rupees is considered to be a trade discount. It is given to increase sales. These type of trade discount is basically given, the objective is to increase the sales so that more and more amount of goods can be sold. For example, when a television with a printed price of rupees 20,000 is sold at rupees 18,000, then there is a trade discount of rupees 2,000. On the other hand, the other type of discount is the cash discount. It means the discount allowed for prompt payment. Trade discount is given basically to increase the sales so that more and more goods are sold. But cash discount is mainly given for prompt or quick payment. That means sometimes it happens that the seller may say that if you make the payment, if somebody is trying to purchase the goods on credit, so the customer can say that if you make the payment immediately or at the earliest in cash, then we'll give you 2% more discount. So the objective behind this more 2% discount is the quick or the prompt payment, so that will be considered as cash discount. So it means the discount allowed for prompt payment. Prompt here means quick. When the buyer makes the payment within the specified time or on the spot, that means within a stipulated time given by the seller or immediately, then cash discount is given. Its purpose is to encourage the customers to make prompt payment for goods purchased. The objective is to clear the payment as soon as possible. So these are the basic accounting terms which we have discussed in this video, which you need to remember, children. and also the accounting cycle. So I hope the topics discussed in this video is clear to you. So this is an assignment which you need to do in your register. Question number 1, you have to state the meaning of the following terms. You can obviously take the help from the video or the book. The first term is the debtors. So who are the debtors? Debtors means it refers to the persons or the firms who have purchased goods or taken services on credit and have still not made the payment. Then creditors, who are the creditors? Creditors are basically the firms or the persons from whom the goods have been purchased or services have been procured on credit and the payment has still not been made to them. Then point number 3 is purchases. Purchases refers to the buying of goods only. Then sales. Sales refers to the selling of goods only. Expense refers to the amount spent on producing and selling the goods and rendering the services. Then revenue means the money received which is of recurring nature. Then drawings basically refers to the any amount of cash or any value of goods taken over by the owner or the proprietor of the business for his personal use or private payments. Then eighth point is capital. Capital is the amount invested by the proprietor or owner in the business. It is also known as owner's equity or net worth or net assets, and the formula is capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. Then the next point is debit. Debit while preparing a ledger account, debit entries are shown on the left hand side. Personal account, we debit the receiver. Real account, debit what comes in, and nominal account, we debit the expenses. Then credit, while preparing a ledger account, credit entries are shown on the right hand side. Then we credit all the incomes, liabilities and gains. We also credit the giver. Then discount, in this you will write that discount are of two types. Discount is basically the money which is given as off, which is not required to be paid. Then trade discount, you will explain that trade discount is the discount given on the printed price. It is, and in continuation you will write that trade discount is given to increase the sales. Cash discount is the discount given for prompt or quick payment in order to, and this is given to facilitate the payment immediately or within stipulated time. And the last one is stock. So stock, you will write that the what is the meaning of stock? You will write that stock refers to the amount of goods lying unsold at the end of the accounting year. Stock is also known as inventory, and in this only you will also explain that stock may be of two types: opening stock and closing stock. Opening stock refers to the amount of goods lying unsold at the beginning of the accounting year, and closing stock refers to the amount of goods lying unsold at the end of the accounting year. Then question number 2, drawing you have to draw an accounting cycle. So you can make the accounting cycle which we have discussed here. This is the accounting cycle which you can make as an answer to this question. You will draw this diagram. You will make transaction. Thereafter you need to prepare journal. After journal you need to prepare ledger. After ledger you need to prepare trial balance. After trial balance you need to prepare trading account. After trading account you need to prepare profit and loss account. After profit and loss account you need to prepare balance sheet. And again after balance sheet the transaction will again occur and the process will continue. So you can prepare this chart or this diagram as an answer to this question. And then the last question, question number 3, you have to state the objectives of preparing. Number 1, journal. The objective of journal. Journal is prepared to record the financial transactions in an entry form. Then ledger. Ledger is prepared to classify similar nature transactions in an account form. Then trial balance. Trial balance is prepared to summarize the balances and to check the arithmetical accuracy. Then trading account. Trading account is prepared to calculate gross profit or gross loss. Profit and loss account. Profit and loss account is prepared to calculate net profit and net loss. And balance sheet. Balance sheet is prepared to know the financial position of the business. So you have to answer these questions in your register, children. Just go through part 1 and part 2 of this chapter. I hope the topics discussed here is clear to you. Go through the videos, revise the topics, learn them, and complete all the written work, children. In the upcoming video, we'll be proceeding further with this chapter. Thank you, children. Take care.